Most people in this world grow up believing that God is somewhere far away, somewhere above the clouds, somewhere in a church, a temple, a holy place, a book, or inside some rare, exceptional moment. And in America especially, where life moves fast, where people chase success, security, identity, and meaning all at once, this misunderstanding becomes even stronger. People look outside for answers, outside for healing, outside for direction, outside for a sign from the universe. But Joel Goldsmith said something radically different. Something so simple that it shocks people when they hear it the first time. He said, "The presence you are seeking is already within you. Not near you, not above you, not someday in the future, but within you, right now, this very moment, wherever you are sitting, breathing, hurting, or wondering about your life." And yet, let's be honest, most people don't feel this presence. You hear the words, but your heart still feels lonely. You listen to spiritual talks, but your mind still races. You pray. But doubt still whispers. You read books. But peace still feels far. That's not because the presence is missing. It's because our awareness is scattered. Joel Goldsmith spent his whole life correcting one misunderstanding, the belief that God is elsewhere. Americans especially grow up hearing phrases like, "God, please come into my life," or "Lord, show yourself," or "Send your presence." But Goldsmith said the truth is the opposite. The presence has never left you. You left your own awareness of it. Let me share something real. A woman from Texas once wrote to Goldsmith during one of the hardest seasons of her life. She had just gone through a divorce, lost her job during an economic downturn, and was living alone in a quiet apartment in Dallas, wondering if anyone, including God, even cared. She said she prayed every night, but she felt nothing. Just silence, just emptiness. Goldsmith wrote her one sentence that changed her life. God has never been silent. You have been listening outward, not inward. Those words shook her. She said she broke down in tears, but not from sadness, from recognition. For the first time, she realized she had been searching for God in the outer noise of her fear, instead of the inner stillness of her being. Not long after, she wrote again saying, "I finally understand that I was not abandoned. I was distracted." This is the heart of Goldsmith's teaching. Your peace begins the moment you stop seeking God outside and start recognizing God inside. Now let me bring this home with something you may have felt in your own life. Think about the quiet moments, maybe driving alone down a long American highway at night, maybe sitting by a window during a snowfall, maybe standing at the edge of the Pacific or watching a sunrise across the countryside. In that moment, you felt something. Not a voice, not a message, not a miracle, but a stillness, a calm, a sense that life was bigger than your worries. That quiet feeling wasn't coming from the ocean or the sunset. It was coming from within you. The external beauty simply removed your inner noise long enough for you to feel what was always there. Let me give you another American example. A young man from Chicago approached Goldsmith after a lecture in New York. He said, "I'm always anxious. I've tried therapy, prayer, meditation apps, podcasts, breathing exercises. Nothing works." Goldsmith looked into his eyes and said gently, "Nothing works because everything you are doing is based on the belief that God is not already within you." The young man was stunned. Everything he was doing was an attempt to reach God, not recognize God. He was trying to climb into spirituality the way Americans try to climb career ladders, social ladders, success ladders with pressure and hustle. Goldsmith told him, "You don't climb into God. You wake up into God." That one realization changed the man's entire spiritual path. And maybe you had moments like that too, moments where life forced you to stop. Maybe it was losing someone you love. Maybe it was sitting alone after a breakup. Maybe it was a late-night drive when you felt your life falling apart. Maybe it was standing in your kitchen at 2 a.m. after a long day, wondering why nothing makes sense. And then suddenly, a thought appeared. A calmness touched your heart. Not a loud miracle, but a small, quiet knowing that everything would be okay. That is the presence within. Not dramatic. Not loud. Not a lightning strike. Just a gentle awareness. But here is the misunderstanding. People think that the presence within means your personality or your human mind is divine. That's not what Goldsmith meant. He wasn't saying, you, the ego, are God. He was pointing to the deeper self, the I behind your thoughts, the I behind your emotions, the I that existed before your name, before your story, before your wounds. The presence within is the life that breathes you. Let me share a story from California. A man who worked as a taxi driver in Los Angeles listened to Goldsmith's tapes while driving through the busy streets. Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Strip, downtown L.A. One night, after a painful argument with someone he cared about, he pulled over near Griffith Park. He said he looked up at the sky, defeated, and cried out, God, if you're real, show me. Say something. I need you. And then, something unexpected happened. A thought rose inside him, soft and clear. I am here in your breath. He froze. His anger dissolved. His breath suddenly felt deeper, calmer, almost sacred. He later said, it felt like something inside me had been waiting for me to stop talking, so it could speak. That was the presence within him. Not outside, not in the sky, not in the stars, but right there in the quietness of his own breath. Goldsmith used to say, the presence does not shout, it whispers, and it whispers inside silence, not chaos. But don't misunderstand something. Silence doesn't mean no sound. Silence means no resistance. You can feel the presence in a busy New York subway, during a morning coffee in a Florida diner, in a noisy home with kids running around, on a crowded California freeway. Silence is not around you. It's within you. Here's another American example of this truth. A single mother from Ohio who followed Goldsmith's teachings once shared her experience. She had lost her job and was terrified about how she would support her kids. Her bills were piling up. She woke up every morning with fear. One morning, instead of praying for help, she simply sat on her couch and whispered, I'm here. Please guide me. She described feeling a warmth behind her shoulders, not physical warmth, but emotional warmth, like someone was standing behind her with compassion. For the first time in weeks, she felt peace, not answers, not solutions, just peace. Within days, unexpectedly, a friend offered her a part-time job that grew into something stable. She later said, the job wasn't the miracle. The peace was the miracle, because without inner peace, even miracles don't reach us. This is the essence of Goldsmith's message. The presence within does not fix your life by changing outer conditions. It fixes your life by changing you. Once you are aligned inwardly, outer conditions reorganize naturally. People misunderstand this teaching because they expect the presence within to feel supernatural or dramatic, like a vision, a sign, an angelic experience. But most of the time, it feels like a soft release of tension, a sudden clarity, a gentle reassurance, a feeling of being carried, a sense that everything is going to be okay, even if you don't know how. The presence rarely enters your life like a miracle. It enters your awareness like a whisper. Think about your own life. Think about the struggles, fears, and unanswered questions you have been carrying. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign, waiting for a door to open, waiting for clarity, waiting for life to finally make sense. But what if the answer is not outside at all? What if the peace you want is already within you? What if the guidance you seek has been whispering this entire time? What if God has been with you through every hardship, not from the outside, but from the inside? Goldsmith told a group in Boston once, "You will never again feel alone when you discover the presence within you." and he meant it. Because once you experience even a small moment of that inner presence, loneliness dissolves, fear loses its power, confusion softens. You no longer feel like you're walking through life alone. You feel guided, carried, supported by something infinite. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning with that awareness. Imagine stepping into your day knowing that the infinite is living through you, guiding your steps, holding your heart, shaping your path. Imagine facing challenges not with panic, but with presence. Imagine making decisions with clarity instead of anxiety. Imagine knowing, truly knowing, that you are not fighting life alone. That is what the presence within offers, not a perfect life. A supported life, not a future without challenges. A future without loneliness inside those challenges. Not a guarantee of outcomes. A guarantee of inner guidance. And the beautiful thing is, this presence is not something you earn or deserve. You don't have to qualify for it. You don't have to impress it. You don't have to prove yourself. It is already within you, waiting to be recognized. Right now, this very moment, you can stop searching outward. You can stop begging for signs. You can stop wondering if you are worthy. You can stop trying to fix yourself through effort and willpower. All you need to do is pause, breathe, and remember the truth Goldsmith taught so clearly: the presence you seek is already within you. And once you recognize that, even a little, your entire life begins to change from the inside out.